Welcome back to another episode of Dollars and Cents, but as always, we're going to keep it real, as in real estate. Every month, I like to take on a new topic on the subject of growing your wealth, and this month, we're going to talk about growing that wealth through solid financial real estate decisions. I'm here with Dawn Kraus, team lead of the Kraus Bosworth Network, which is one of the top real estate teams not only in St. Louis, but in the entire Midwest. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly with the current real estate market in St. Louis, and whether there's another housing bubble just around the corner. Dawn, thanks for joining me.
My pleasure, Ryan. Thank you for having me.
Well, let me ask you a question. So how is the real estate market right now? And, I'm hearing a lot out there about low inventory. How's that affecting things?
So that's a great question, Ryan. As far as inventory is concerned, in some price points, it's true, the inventory is lower. Now, here's the part that buyers and sellers need to understand is that even though inventory is lower, it does not mean that buyers are ready to pay exorbitant prices. So they're still very cost conscious, even if the inventory is on the lower side.
Right. And one thing I know that is helping a little bit is interest rates are low. I know that personally. And they're saying it's going even lower. How does that affect your business?
So it's a beautiful opportunity for our team members to be reaching out to our buyers and sellers and explain how a low and even lower interest rates impacts the affordability of homes. As a seller, it means that a buyer can pay more for the home right now, and then on the flip side, when that seller becomes the buyer, they can afford more. So the opportunity is huge no matter which side you're on.
Right.
And really, Ryan, one of the tools that you have taught us as a team is the impact of the waiting analysis.
My cost of waiting analysis.
Cost of waiting analysis.
Yeah. No, it's a great tool because a lot of times, people see interest rates out there. They see that values are back on the rise, getting back to where we were at in the late 2000s before the last crash. But they don't really think about, hey, what's my net worth if I buy today? What's my net worth if I wait 6 months? What's my net worth if I wait 2 years? And so, that's kind of a tool that we've tweaked and developed over time. And I know we've done quite a few transactions just off of providing that for our clients. So.
Can you share an example, Ryan, of what that actually looks like? And I think when people understand the real numbers, they can see how personal.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a $200,000 house now, and we say a house is appreciating at maybe 3%, well, in a given year, you're going to earn about $6,000 in additional equity. But if you're a move-up buyer, you're going to a $500,000 home. That home's going to be $15,000 more a year from now. So you got to look at, am I willing to wait a year to pay $15,000 more for the same home? And what are interest rates going to do to affect that decision? So it's interest rates, it's inflation, and then it depends if you're a move-up buyer, you're a move-down buyer, or you're just making a lateral move. So I provide all that, kind of look at, hey, where's your net worth in 12 months or 2 years if you wait? And hopefully it helps them make a smart decision.
You've been so helpful to us in the past with that analysis.
It works. Happy to do it for you. Okay, so there's some people out there that are talking about this bubble.
Yes.
Do you think we're going to hit another housing bubble?
Okay, so let's qualify what the market is actually doing, and people will put a different term to it depending on where their mindset is. Here's what I will say is the crash ended last in 2012. From 2012 through 2018, we had overall appreciation of the market.
Right.
Now, depending on what market someone is in, I'm just going to say overall appreciation has been about 10 to 20% in that 6-year time frame.
Okay.
And what happens, Ryan, is that people's incomes have only appreciated about 3%. So what happens is over time, it creates that affordability gap. It's that affordability gap that allows the market to say, hey, wait a second, we've got to readjust here. We can't keep going into perpetuity.
Right.
So call it a bubble, call it a crash, call it whatever it is.
Correction.
It's a correction.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it needs to happen.
Right. No, good stuff. So last kind of question that I have for you is, obviously you've got a team. You've been doing this 18 years. You've had a team for 15 of those years.
Yes.
And it's evolved and changed, and you brought on Tom as your partner. But kind of tell me the differences. There's so many realtors out there. Tell me the difference between working with a team such as yourself and working with an individual agent. Because there's some good ones out there, obviously.
Absolutely. So here's the biggest difference is the team structure, especially our team structure, is really about being a specialist. So not a jack of all trades, master of none. It's about having specializations in the different parts of the real estate transaction. And that's so important because God did not hardwire us all to be really good at every aspect of the process. Yeah. So by getting super specialized and knowing our lanes and having a big support team around us, we can provide a much higher level of customer service in every aspect of the process. Now, I will say, Ryan, an individual versus team structure, one's not good versus bad. They're just different models.
Right.
And that team structure really allows for that super high level of service for the clients and really for the team members themselves. It's a highly leveraged opportunity for them to provide the high service and grow their business.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Be great at one thing.
That's it.
Trust me, I've got a team that helps me as well. So
I know you do. They're wonderful.
So, well, a lot of good things today. And I know we're going to take a little break and then come back and talk about kind of your big why and something that's near and dear to your heart, the Best Buddies program. So stick around. We'll be right back. So I gotta say, I really am proud of my team here at Gateway Mortgage. Founded in 1990, Gateway is one of the longest established mortgage brokerages in the St. Louis area. And since I joined in 1997, we've closed over $2 billion in loans. Unlike big banks, when you work with us, you're gonna know who you're working with. Call, text, or email us at any time. Our business keeps running when banks are closed for the night or the weekend. We work hard to communicate promptly every time, educate you about your mortgage options, and most of all, build relationships that truly last a lifetime. So back to my team. I have two full-time processors, Kim DiMaselli and Sabrina White, and they're both rock stars with over 40 years of experience in the industry combined. They're gonna work diligently with our underwriters, coordinate with title companies, and organize all the paperwork necessary for successful closing. We strive for excellence in every transaction we do. Send us a message and let's talk about your mortgage needs. So we're back again. Dawn, thank you for being here. And we're going to talk about something a little non-real estate related, but certainly something that's near and dear to your heart. An organization out there called Best Buddies. And what we'd like to do is just spread a little awareness about it. So Dawn, just tell me, what is Best Buddies?
All right. So Best Buddies is an organization that matches individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities with their normal functioning peers to bridge that gap of social isolation that happens as a natural part of having special needs. Mm-hmm. And that's done through the building and fostering and nurturing of true, authentic, genuine one-to-one friendships.
Yeah. And I know it's obviously played a big impact in your life. But I mean, tell me how Best Buddies affected you and really the impact that it's had on your family.
Sure. So Ryan, as you know my family well. I have identical twin boys, Gus and Tucker, and they are both on the autism spectrum. Mm-hmm. And so when we found out that the boys were on the spectrum, obviously when people sign up and are looking to be parents, they aren't going, gosh, I sure hope I get special needs kids.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's a card that is dealt that many of us as parents don't know what to do when that is what happens, when our children have special needs. And so what happens is it can be a very socially isolating world for these individuals. And in 2016, we were introduced to Best Buddies. Gus got his first buddy, and I will tell you, it has been life-changing for him. For years and years, the only thing that Gus looked forward to were food and video games, right? And now through his true, genuine, authentic one-to-one friendship with Shane, who is an amazing young man, Gus has something that he looks forward to every single week when they get to hang out. So it truly has been life-altering for Gus and for Tucker and for our family.
And for Shane.
And for Shane.
No,
yes, you're right.
I've seen the kids that get paired up with not only your kids, but some of the other ones, and it's pretty magical, actually, the bond that they have that I'm sure will last forever. Well, tell me how we can get involved. How can somebody help out? What can they do?
Well, thank you for asking, and there are so many ways because there's a couple different arenas with Best Buddies. So the friendship chapters are for those that are school age and into college. And then what happens is our friends with intellectual and developmental disabilities become adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They grow up. And so when they have aged out of school, what options do they have? Well, what Best Buddies Missouri especially is truly focusing on now, in addition to the growth of our friendship chapters in the school, is our jobs program.
Right.
And so the jobs program is about having partners in the work world who welcome in our friends with intellectual and developmental disabilities and allow them the opportunity to really contribute to society as they get older. Because I will tell you, Ryan, these kids from the time they were born until the time that they aren't with us anymore, they have a beautiful gift. They have a bow wrapped around them that they don't get to necessarily share the gift that God gave them because they don't look and sound like others, yet they have so much to share.
Right.
So Best Buddies, the friendship programs, the jobs programs, and then there's also a citizens programs, allows them to unwrap that bow and share that gift.
I love it. I love it. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I've supported it. And so yeah, hopefully, if it's something that touches your heart, you're interested in it, obviously, we'll put the link down below and you can learn more about Best Buddies. So Dawn, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Ryan.
Oh,
Thank
shit,
you always.
All right. Thank you, guys.